Hello, 7th graders. We are going to talk about bronchial respiration. Before we talk about the kind of respiration in aerial medium, we talk about the pulmonary respiration, the cutaneous respiration, and the tracheal respiration. The pulmonary respiration takes place by the lungs. The tracheal respiration occurs by the trachea, and the cutaneous respiration takes place by the skin. Now we will talk about the gills. It is a respiratory organ that allows the aquatic animal to breathe with. Fish and other aquatic animals breathe through gills. This picture shows a gill. The gills are located underneath the fish's opercula. We will see later the opercula. This is a gill and it's located beneath under the opercula. Each gill is made up of two rows of gill filament. This is a gill filament, and this is another gill filament composed of thin membranous plates. Gills are red in color because they are rich in blood vessels. Respiration of aquatic animals is called bronchial respiration because they use the gills to breathe with. Gaseous exchange takes place at the level of the gills. The gas exchange takes place between the gills and the blood vessel. Flow of water in a fish. Look at this picture, please. This is the mouth of the fish, and these are the opercula. This is the first one, and this is the second one. Operculum means one. Opercula means many. In a fish, the opening of the mouth forces water in while the opercula are lowered. When water enters through the mouth, the opercula are lowered. When the mouth closes, the opercula are lifted up and water is forced out. When the mouth is closed or closes, the opercula opened or lifted up in order to let the water to get out. First, water enters the fish body through the mouth. The opercula are lowered down. After that, when the fish closes its mouth, the opercula are lifted up to let the water get out. Testing for the flow of water in a fish. Let's discuss together this experiment. Use a pipette to drop some colored ink in front of the mouth of a fish. Soon, the ink moves out of a slit underneath the operculum. The ink gets outside the body from the opercula. So, water enters the fish's mouth and gets out from the opercula. The respiratory rhythm of a fish is the number of successive movements of the mouth and the opercula per minute. Respiratory gaseous exchange at the level of the gills. Water rich in oxygen gas enters through the mouth. The opercula are lowered down. At the level of the gills, blood absorbs oxygen gas. The blood gives oxygen gas to the fish's cells and take carbon dioxide gas and return back to the gills. The opercula are lifted up and let water rich in carbon dioxide gas to get outside. Here, water flow from the mouth. The gills are very rich in blood vessels. The oxygen gas enters through the blood vessel from the gills into the blood vessels covering it, and the blood transports oxygen gas towards the organ. Here at this filament, the blood carrying carbon dioxide gas reject carbon dioxide into the water, and this water is forced outside the body from under the opercula. Factors that facilitate the gaseous exchange at the level of the gills. Gills are rich in blood vessels. Gills have large surface area of exchange, the thin walls of the gills. Here water enters through the mouth. These are the filaments. This is the first one and this is the second one. At the level of the filaments, oxygen gas enters into the blood and carbon dioxide gas gets outside the gills into the water to be forced outside from under the operculum. Let's discuss together this picture. Breathing in air, we have the pulmonary respiration and the tracheal respiration. The pulmonary respiration takes place at the level of the lungs. The oxygen gas diffuses from the pulmonary alveoli into the blood and carbon dioxide diffuses from the blood vessel into the pulmonary alveoli. Here, in tracheal respiration, there is no role of the blood. The oxygen gas flows or diffuses from the tracheoles into the organs, and carbon dioxide gas diffuses from the organs into the tracheoles and then circulates in the trachea and removed outside the body through the posterior spiracles. Here, breathing in water, this is a gill. Oxygen gas enters into the gills and then passes into the blood to be distributed to all body organs, and carbon dioxide gas is forced or flows from the gills into the water to be forced out by from the site of beneath the operculum. This is another picture to be discussed. Human pulmonary alveolus, the pulmonary alveoli, the oxygen gas diffuses from the pulmonary alveolus into the blood, and carbon dioxide gas diffuses from the blood vessel into the pulmonary alveolus. Also at the level of the gills, the oxygen gas diffuses from the gills into the blood vessel, and carbon dioxide gas diffuses from the blood vessels into the gills of the fish. Also, at the level of the skin, oxygen gas enters from the skin into the blood vessels that are located under the skin, and carbon dioxide gas are diffused from the blood vessels through the skin outside the worm's body. At the level of the organs, oxygen gas diffuses from the blood vessels into the organs. At the same time, carbon dioxide gas diffuses from the body organs into the blood vessel. Thank you.